It was a real blessing from God that I was able to see the monasteries of Meteora in Greece. It was quite an unintentional trip. I had intended to go to the Holy Land with my mother, but then the war between Israel and Iran broke out, and it became impossible to travel there. We were on our way, which is why we ended up in Greece, because we were supposed to transfer flights in Greece to go to Tel Aviv, but that got cancelled, and so we became stuck in Greece. And Greece is not a country I had ever thought of revisiting. I had been there before for a short period of time, but I didn't ever have the intention of revisiting it. So it really is, in some ways, the work of or hand of God that I became stuck there during this past trip. And during my time there and doing a little research, we decided that we wanted to go see the monasteries of Meteora. And really, that became very inspirational to me because these monasteries, they're built high up on rocks, and they were built about 600 years ago. It would have been incredibly difficult to build the monasteries as high up as they were, and at a time period when it would have had to have been done with ladders first, and then after ladders, then you would have need to use cranes to pull up the material to be able to build these monasteries. So for me to see them and to see that it had been built so long ago, and also to see it in a country where the reason why I didn't have the desire to go back after the first time is because of how secular I saw it as being. Is not a place that carried a lot of faith in today's day and age in God. You go to church or you go to mass, you go to church service, and it just seems like there's this big beautiful church and it's just empty. And so for me, being a person who loves to see things that are inspirational with regards to faith and regards to God and with regards to Christianity, it just didn't come across as a place I wanted to be. Which is part of the blessing of having essentially gotten stranded there with the canceled flight, is I got to see that although perhaps in today's day and age, there's not so many people in Greece that are attending mass as there used to be. Still, there had to have been an incredible amount of faith back in the day that there were ultimately 24 of these monasteries built up high on rock faces, on cliffs, on these incredible geographically beautiful locations. And so seeing that was very inspirational to me. Seeing it, for me, it gave me insights into the faith that those people had hundreds of years ago, the monks and the nuns that built these places. It was it led me to want to do more in my own life, where the effort that these people did with their faith, with their belief in God, that the effort that they put forward built these monasteries that tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people go to visit every year. I don't know what the ultimate number is, but many people go to visit these monasteries every year. And it's just a monument to faith. It's a monument to love of God, a desire to be of service to God. And I find myself wanting to do the same. Wanting to find some way in my own life to build a monument to my own love of God, to my own faith in God, to my own desire to serve God. And so it's very inspirational to me to see these monasteries, to visit them, to go into them, even though today, sadly, there's not as many vocations as there used to be. These Greek Orthodox monasteries used to be full with hundreds of vocations. Nowadays, of the 24 that are built, there's only 6 that are active, and about 56 monks and nuns that inhabit these 6 active monasteries. But in spite of that, there's this kind of eternal nature to them. They're an eternal sign to faith in God. They're an eternal sign because of the fact that they're built with rock. They're built on top of the rock, and they're built to last. They're not built to be there temporarily. They're built to last hundreds upon hundreds, if not thousands of years. And to me, that's something so beautiful that even though I know I could never do the same kind of achievement out of faith as what these individuals did. There's this hope and desire in me that maybe I can at least strive, that I can leave at least something little and small behind in my life that will testify to my own faith and love in God. And so it was a great blessing that God stranded me. And in spite of the frustrations I had, that I wanted to see the Holy Land again, and the fact that I just thought it was just terribly bad luck that the war broke out at exactly the time I was trying to travel there. In spite of all that, I find myself blessed and grateful to God that in spite of events that weren't what I wanted to see happen, that I got to see this location, Meteora in Greece, which could inspire me to want to work harder, to leave behind some kind of impact, some kind of sign, my faith and love in God in this life. And so for me, that was a great blessing. And I personally recommend to anyone who travels to Greece that you consider visiting Meteora yourselves so that you also may be inspired by the incredible faith that these monks and these nuns had hundreds of years ago to build such beautiful, wonderful monuments to God. May God bless each and every one of you.